Hey everybody, Miss Limer here to talk about strip diagrams. So strip diagrams are a visual representation that you can use to pretty much solve any single problem that you come across in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on grade. So we're going to talk about how we can use strip diagrams with the 4 basic operations that we use in 3rd grade. So our first operation that we're going to talk about using strip diagrams in is addition. So when you are looking at a strip diagram, and I'm just going to show you this basic strip diagram right now. When you're looking at this basic strip diagram, there are some things that you need to know. So when you think back to your 2nd grade year and you're thinking about things that you might have learned, you might have heard of the word part whole. So in 3rd grade, instead of calling it a part whole, we call them strip diagrams. Part whole are put together to be called a strip diagram. Okay. Now, when you're looking at a strip diagram and it's either addition or subtraction, there's some secret things that you can do, some secret signs in these. So one of the secret signs is a secret addition sign. And when you look at your strip diagram and you're trying to decide whether to add or subtract, if you have both numbers here and here, you are going to have a secret addition sign between them because these parts get added together to equal the whole. If you look at these 2 parts, they span the entire length of the whole. That's how you know if you have both parts, you have to add them together to get the whole. Now, there's another secret sign when we are doing subtraction. When you're doing subtraction and you might have the whole and a part, there's a subtraction sign right here. See that line? So that means you know you have to take this whole and subtract a part. The thing about when you see with these 2 red circles, when you have 2 numbers like that, if you add them together, you're going to get something that's greater than your whole. And the point is to not go above that number given that's your whole. Okay, so when we're talking strip diagrams in addition, you're going to have both of your parts filled. You're going to add those parts together and it's going to equal your whole. Remember I talked about how those 2 parts span the entire length of the whole. So in this problem, our addition sentence would be 60 plus 30 equals what? Equals blank, right? There's also another way that you could see an addition problem represented on a strip diagram, and that's if it has more than one number. So in this example, we have the numbers 2, 4, and 6. Wants us to do is add together 2, 4, and 6, okay? And that'll give us our whole. All right, the next operation that you can use strip diagrams for is subtraction. So when you're doing a subtraction strip diagram, you are given your whole and you're given one part. And I talked about that secret subtraction sign right here between your whole and your part. You know that you cannot add these 2 numbers because your whole is already filled. The only time you would add numbers is if you were missing your whole, right? So now we've got to take 90 and subtract 60 in order to find out that missing part over there. Another operation that you can use strip diagrams for is multiplication. Okay, when we look at multiplication strip diagrams, we look at this more as groups of. So for example, this is 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, 3 groups of 5. So that's where our 3 times 5 comes in. And you notice the whole is blank, it's empty. So you know that you're either adding these together or you're thinking about a way that you can do a multiplication problem for this strip diagram, right? Because multiplication means your number gets bigger and we're trying to fill that hole with a bigger number. And finally, we have division where they give you the whole and you have to figure out how can I split that into equal parts. So in this situation, they gave us 15 and they want us to share that into 3 equal parts, right? So I think of this as groups of 2 and sharing between groups. So what I have my kids do is take that 15 and fair share with tallies between the 3 parts. So our division sentence becomes 15 divided by 3 equals what? An important thing to remember when you are looking at strip diagrams is that they can be represented in a variety of ways. So you could see it like that first one I showed you where the whole is on top and then you have the 2 parts on the bottom. You could see where you have the 2 parts on the top and the whole on the bottom. You could see where the whole is just this line and you have the 2 parts on top, or the whole is on top and the 2 parts are on the bottom. You could see it vertically, which is up and down, where the hole is on the side and the parts are on the other side, or vice versa. So there's so many different ways that you can see these strip diagrams, and so many different operations that you can use them with.